Good
You
ride.
know, when it comes to service, being a protector, there's a lot of elements to that, right? You just touched on a few here. There's the mental element of it, there's the physical element of it, and then there's the physiological element of it, right? You spend a lot of time really discussing all three of those. What have you found is where people have the most challenges? Is it the physiological or is it on the mental side of it? What the
You've
soldiers or the
really hit
guys?
it, Lou. It is the physiological. We're blindsided by that physiological aspect. So what we have is, look, we got the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, right?
Uh-huh.
We got the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest.
Uh,
When we're asleep, rest and digest is ascendant, right? We wake up, we hit what we call homeostasis. We
uh-huh.
got some fight or flight, we got some rest and digest, sympathetic, parasympathetic imbalance. If somebody tries to kill you, boom, total sympathetic nervous system arousal. Heart rate's pounding, your stomach's, all the things that we might think about. We'll talk more about. But then afterwards, something triggers it, and you go on that sympathetic nervous system arousal again, and it scares you. Oh, I'm broken. I have PTSD. And nobody warns you that this is normal. So I use the example of I trained the International Association of Hospital Administrators and Security and Safety Administrators, and I use the example. You got a hospital security guy, and he got punched in the nose in the ER. I can't go in the ER anymore. Every time I go in the emergency room, my heart rate goes up, my stomach's rolling. I got PTSD. I'm broken. No, you're not broken. Nobody wants to be broken. Nobody wants to have PTSD. What happened to you is you're re-experiencing the event. How you deal with it will decide whether or not it becomes PTSD. And what I
Right.
explained, the World War II generation, they said, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. But this new generation doesn't understand. So here's what I tell them. This is what it feels like to level up in a video game. You re-experience that event.
Uh-huh.
Now, use your breathing exercise. Take a big swig of water.
Uh-huh.
A big swig of water is a powerful tool that pulls us from fight or flight to rest and digest. So that ER, right, that security guard, walk in the ER with that bottle of water in your hand. And every time you start re-experiencing event, take that big swig of water. But
Mm.
I was a West Point psych professor, and we talked about this physiological response, right? So two musicians. You're an actor, you can identify, right? Two musicians.
Uh-huh.
One of them says, every time I go on stage, my heart's pounding, my stomach's churning, I can't do it anymore.
Right.
And that's a snowflake, right?
Yeah.
The other man said, man, every time I go on stage, my heart's pounding, my guts are rumbling, and I want to do it for the rest of my life. Rock star.
Right.
Two different people have the
Right.
exact same response, but the physiology is exactly the same. The psychological response is totally different. And
Perception.
so we want to be the rock star. We don't want to be the snowflake. And
Right.
we want to learn to breathe in and that water. And even if you have full-blown PTSD, and you're such a great example, Lou, you come out the other end with post-traumatic growth. See,
Right.
this you level up in this video game called real, and what you get is post-traumatic growth. And that's that physiology that blindsides us.
Yes.
You know what? I was in school, I got in a fist fight. The next day I had to face that bully again. My heart rate's up, but I push on through it. But
Yeah.
as a generation hasn't been taught to push through it. They have been taught to expect that physiological response. So they say, I'm broken. So we teach the breathing exercise. We teach the big swig of water. We teach them about post-traumatic growth. And we tell them this is what it feels like to level up in the game. You push through this thing and you're going to be a better player. You're going to have better attributes. Your wisdom and your stats will be higher. This is what it feels like to level up in a real world game. And
Got
they
it.
get that.
Got
That,
it.
that the physiology is what blindsides them.